The first question that I'm going to answer is 3 takeaways that I got from this class and the teachings in this class. The first is that demonstrations are extremely important, especially for younger students in elementary school and even in middle school. Demonstrating for students is a very important way for you to for them to understand what you want them to do in the tasks and the activities. When you demonstrate, you're showing them exactly what you want them to do and how you want them to do it, and this can be very helpful to encourage time on task and also eliminate outside behaviors, because outside behaviors can occur when students do not understand what they're doing, and you demonstrating can help eliminate that. Another takeaway I got is that check for understanding questions are also very important. Check for understanding questions allow for you to understand if your students got the information you wanted them to get across. This can be a tell that you need to review some stuff if they're not answering the questions right, or it can be a tell that you can move on. The third takeaway is that modifications are also very important. Students often get bored during tasks if they're repeating the same thing over and over again. So having modifications for students, such as struggling students making the tasks easier, or skilled students making the tasks harder. This can help eliminate off-task behaviors as well, because when students get bored, they often get distracted and do off-task behaviors. And it can also encourage time on task, because you're switching up the tasks and giving the students a challenge. The second question I will be answering is 3 improvements that I can do for my teaching. The first is adding modifications, as I mentioned. During some of our activities, students were often getting bored because they were repeating the same thing over and over again. So having modifications can help eliminate this boredom and encourage more engagement. I can also improve my speaking. At times when I get nervous, I sometimes speak fast, and that can cause me to jumble my words. So if I can calm down and take a deep breath during my teaching, it can allow the students to understand what I'm saying better, which can help eliminate all these off-task behaviors as well, and the boredom. And the last thing that I can do is my creativity. I think that for our lesson, we could have been a little more creative in our tasks and activities, and I think that would have helped students be engaged as well. One thing that I learned from this class is to ask as many check for understanding questions as possible, because these check for understanding questions are going to be the key for you to understand if your students got the information that you want them to get, and if they understand it. And if you ask a question about what you just talked about and they're able to reciprocate what you said back to them, it can show you that you're able to move on, and it also shows you that they are going to be able to repeat the information to you and to each other. The final question that I'm going to answer is how I can integrate physical literacy into my student teaching. For this elementary level, I can use visual aids with academic language printed on them. This can allow students to associate the pictures and the visual aids that I use with the academic language. This will give them deeper understanding of the academic language, and this will allow them to use the academic language in class. I will also encourage the students to use the academic language with each other. The more that they use the academic language, the more physically literate they will be, and this will help them in the future, because as they get older, they will continue to use that academic language, and it will help them get a deeper understanding and deeper development of the skills. For the secondary level, I will provide them with resources that they can use for outside opportunities for physical activity. I only see my students for probably 40 minutes twice or 3 times a week, and that is not a lot. So in order to provide them with outside opportunities, we'll give them a good chance to work outside of the gym and outside of the class, and this will help them be more physically literate, and also help them develop their health-related fitness and physical fitness. I can also encourage the secondary level students to do the outside opportunities with each other and with friends, because when you do stuff with your friends, it is much more enjoyable, and when stuff is enjoyable for you, it means you want to do it more. So if I want my students to be physically active more outside of the class, doing it with friends is a great way to get them to want to do it, which will get them to enjoy it, and which will want them to do it more.